Well, what you see online is not always what you get, and that's the concern. You might have heard of deepfakes. That's the latest video trend threatening more than just your privacy.
Our new investigative reporter Candice Nguyen explains what it is and the major risks it's creating. Candice.
Yeah, Raj and Jess, deepfakes leverage the power of artificial intelligence to make fake videos appear very real. The technology is only a few years old, but it has experts and lawmakers scrambling to catch up in what's being called a digital arms race.
We want to give this president the opportunity to do something historic.
In May, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi delivered this speech to the Center for American Progress. Shortly after, President Donald Trump retweeted an altered video of that same speech.
We want to give this president the opportunity.
The audio is slowed down to make Pelosi appear intoxicated. She wasn't. Now, this is a pretty minor change, even though it was viewed more than 2.5 million times. Deepfakes, on the other hand, use artificial intelligence to make changes that are nearly impossible to spot.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time.
A certain comedian and movie director showed everyone how easily he could appear to be President Obama.
You see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele.
While these videos may seem funny,
my friends, I wish to rise above this divide and endorse my worthy opponent.
And it will eventually create something that looks like a person.
UC Berkeley professor Hani Farid says the threats they pose have serious implications.
And we have more and more examples of manipulated media being used to disrupt democracies, sow civil unrest, revenge porn.
Farid has studied digital authentication for 20 years. He says deepfakes usually come in 3 forms. The lip sync, where just the mouth is replaced in the original video to match new audio tracks, changing what that person actually says.
Imagine this for a second. One man with total control of billions of people's stolen data.
Then there's the face swap, where one person's face is mapped over another, changing who was actually there.
Yeah, I was just really surprised.
And the puppet master, where the creator has the people in the video mimic his movements, changing what was actually done.
The audio track is an impersonator.
Farid says any one of these can be used to interfere with an election.
There is going to be a video or an audio released 24, 48 hours before an election, and it's going to be very damaging, and it's going to push a large number of undecided voters from one side to the other, and that's going to be the ball game.
Election interference is one of the reasons Assemblymember Mark Berman introduced a bill last year, making it illegal to distribute altered media of a candidate within 60 days of an election without a disclosure.
There are a lot of folks out there that are going to be interested in trying to trick voters.
But what about 61 days before? Well, that's legal. Berman admits that's a problem, but he says it's a compromise he had to make with free speech organizations like the ACLU.
So oftentimes I have to make concessions to legislation. So that's definitely a weakness in the bill. And
experts like Farid believe that while a commendable effort, the new law won't be effective.
The bill doesn't really deal with the broader misinformation. It sort of deals with this very targeted thing, which while it is a threat, it's a relatively small sliver of the overall threat that we're dealing with.
Whether in our elections or our everyday lives, addressing deepfakes can't all be done through technology, Farid says. He thinks social media companies should also take more responsibility for the content they host. The rest, though, is on us, he says, to become better, smarter digital citizens.
Social media companies say they're restricting deepfakes either by banning them or adding warnings when they see fit. Our investigation continues online right now, where you can find out how deepfakes all started with the exploitation of women. That's on our website, NBCBayArea.com/WeInvestigate.
It's great that we're talking about it, but how common is it that the average person who's seen something on Facebook or another social media site can't even recognize a deepfake?
It is really hard to detect. Some videos you can detect, others you can't. Now, Experts say the ones that you can see with your eye, check for the mouth, check for lighting if something doesn't seem right. But there's a lot of this video where you'll need some program to check if artificial intelligence was used in the creation of it. And a lot of people don't have that or don't know how to use that.
It's only going to get more advanced, too,
exactly.
with that AI. Thank you, Candice. If you have a story tip for Candice Nguyen or anyone else in our investigative unit, give us a call, 1-888-996-TIPS, or you can visit our website, NBCBayArea.com/investigations.